Hi, Captain Peter Cutsey, South Korea. This is my briefing room. This is part 2 of EGPWS or CFIT. We took off of runway 08 Muscat, and we broke off the flight to Dubai, and we are heading south at 6,000 feet, and we are about to demonstrate CFIT. This is a training exercise only. You can see the high terrain in front of us. We did have a look at the minimum sector altitudes in part 1, and remembering, of course, that the southeast quadrant was 8,500 feet and the southwest quadrant was 9,100 feet. And we decided that in our recovery, we would climb to 9,100. We are going to do this part of the demonstration in Kavok weather, and then when we go to part 3, we'll do it in IFR. That way you'll appreciate the terrain in the area of this airport visually, and then we will actually not see it in part 3. So let's just have a quick review. So remember, we were talking about the technique of setting up the fixed pages for the sector altitudes. We are currently in the southeast sector, so the MSA here is 8,500 feet. We don't know where we're going to be exactly in the training, so we will pretend that we will use the most restrictive, and that makes sense, doesn't it? It's airmanship, that we will climb to 9,100 feet. So remember that once you experience an oral or the pull up as we discussed in the briefing, immediately the actions are as follows: to disengage both the autopilot and the auto throttles and aggressively apply maximum thrust simultaneously, rolling wings level, pitching up to 20 degrees. That's the second large line here, 20 degrees above the horizon, and retracting the speed brakes. No other configuration changes at all until clear of terrain. So, and then if needed, all the way up to the PLI or the buffet or the stick shaker, as we discussed before. Now, for the actual exercise, I won't be talking through the exercise. I want you to focus on the oral warnings. And when we are totally complete and safe, we will ask the pilot monitoring to set up all AFDS systems, set 9,100 feet on the altitude reminder on the MCP, and left to right, ensure that the auto throttles are on, and then engage the AFDS systems with level change and heading select. And then we'll climb to 9,100 feet. And level off at 240 knots. We're going to start the procedure at 240 knots, or the demonstration, I should say, in the training, where we are now, and 6,000 feet. I'll give the crew a clearance to maintain a ridiculously low altitude for this sector of 2,000 feet, and ask them to expedite, which means they should select level change and thrust levers close and speed brakes extend. So that's how we'll set it up, and we'll view that, we'll view the recovery, then we'll talk about it after the recovery.